Okay.
Not recording yet, no?
No, soon.
Check if it's presentable.
Oh, it's fine as far as I'm concerned, but that's your call.
You to give you a nice face, no? It clean, more or less. Printer is there. Move it. Great. They already playing.
Well, they're about to. She's not told me we're live yet.
She's stressed also, yeah.
Hello, Mrs. Bubbles. Can you hear me? Tara has not told me that we're live, but I'll assume we are. Bill Riles and Tara Mendocino, Point Backgammon, broadcasting from the top of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. 2023 Oasis Tournament Cup Championship. This is their intermediate final. Shahriar Behravan, Sayed Hamid Reza are the two finalists. The Mr. Behran at the top, playing the black checkers on the left of the screen. He has only one loss. Mr. Reza on the right of the player cam has two losses. So were he to win the first match, then we would have to have a second match. If Behravan wins the first match, then he's the champion and it's over. Both of these gentlemen are from Iran. I don't know them. I was able to speak briefly before we started here a moment ago with Mr. Behravan and a friend of his. Behravan is apparently almost an international chess champion of sorts from Iran, and is playing backgammon. So anyway, I'm going to try to stay on top here. We've started going. First match going. Here's a cube from Shahriar, and I apologize if the pronunciations are incorrect. But he has a pretty good structure. The Sayed, again, apologize for the pronunciation, lets that go. So we're 1-0. Shahriar. Okay, so let's settle in here, see if we can get going. 6-1. The obvious making the bar. 4-5. He'll step up and down, I suspect, and he does. 2-1. Probably make the 5 point. Nice. Slots it, hits slotting and stepping up. Keeps his 3' structure there. 5-4. Nice advanced anchor. 4-2. He'll step up. Now, one thing I suspect that we'll see with these two gentlemen is, and I don't know this at all, I'm only conjecturing. I expect to see some play with pace. Many of the Middle Eastern players grew up playing backgammon. They grow up. They don't play the international game typically in some of these countries, so they don't use a cube. It's just a fast-paced, really fast-paced game, and many of them maintain that tendency. Of course, a number of them have they've learned the cube. There's some great international players in Iran, and that's one thing that we hoped to do with this tournament and our coverage of this tournament was to introduce a number of these players to the global community. Okay, Mr. Reza has escaped with both his checkers, has a fairly substantial pip count lead. What's he got? 70. He took it before I could finish counting, but Mr. Baravan takes that. 3-2. I play 2 down personally, but let's see what he does. 2 down it is. Has a number of builders activated on toward the bar or the 5. 3-2. Okay, he's going to slap the 4. He's going to try to construct a defense board as quickly as he can in the anticipation that he may get a shot here. Set of aces is extremely nice roll. Now he has options. He could make the 5 point. He could make the bar point. He'll opt for the 5. Still leaves him considerable ammunition working on his bar point. Okay, so he'll make the 4, slot the 5. Okay. And we would like to, and I'll digress a little bit while this game progresses, thank Patrick Jabelli as the organizer director and his sponsors for just an incredible event here in Dubai. First really major tournament. And, I think everyone in attendance has just had a great time and been really impressed with the effort and dedication and enthusiasm that Patrick and his team have demonstrated. Would also like to thank Backgammon Galaxy and we're streaming on their widely subscribed channel. I think they have like 20,000 subscribers. So thanks to Mark Olson and his team for giving us the opportunity to utilize that channel to bring this coverage to as many people as possible. Now, as many of you know, it's I like to conduct kind of a interactive commentary process here, so I do have the chat line in front of me. I can read it. It's a little bit cramped quarters in the general manager of Atmosphere's office here, but so I'll be looking back and forth a bit more than usual. I have a monitor. Perhaps y'all can see it immediately in front of me. That's the live stream. I have a laptop in front of me where I can look at the glance over at the chat line on occasion, and I'll try to respond to your questions, comments, critiques, suggestions, whatever, as I can and as appropriate. And this is just such a treat, I think, in a number of respects for the finalists in both the intermediate division that we're watching now and the finalists in the Masters division, which we'll see next, to have just an incredible opportunity to play high, not at the very top, but high atop the Burj Khalifa iconic structure, the tallest building in the world. It's kind of dusky here and a lot of light behind me, so you probably can't see it, but as you perhaps noticed, there's as there was during the tournament, and Myco, which is a local affiliate of Patrick's company's group, is a live streaming platform. They do a lot of photojournalism, photography, what have you, and they had like 18 people at the tournament, and they've got 3 people here. So this will be a well covered event in that regard. It's not a very big space, but we only have Patrick is here, the 4 players, and I think each one of them apparently brought like a second of their choice, be it a friend or whomever. Anders Nylander, one of the championships finalists, his wife is here. So it's a very small group. Justin Knoll is here with Tara and myself. Justin will be doing the live transcription on the championship matches. Okay, so he should be able to bring this home. Very limited potential of a gammon. He's going to try to enhance that potential by maybe hitting and bearing off. So if Bedrov, and then I'm going to use their last names, I don't want to be disrespectful in any way. If Bedrovin were to dance a time or two, which he did not, then he would have faced some jeopardy of being gammon, but he entered right away. Now he's chasing a lost dice. Okay. So this is going to be, in every probability, a 2-point single game. It is, and Mr. Reza takes a 2-1 lead. No second stream today, just it was quite the exercise to break everything down. Last night we stayed up to about 3 a.m. and then started again at about 8 this morning, pulling all the cable and everything to then take it all up to our room. Divided up as to what we needed, for this location as opposed to the tournament location, and there really isn't enough space to do but the one stream. To try to play 2, they'd be right on top of each other. So these are relatively short matches, so hopefully they'll proceed fairly quickly. In the championship division, each of the players have 2 losses, so there's the absolute final will be the match that they play. Kind of worked out advantageous to the tournament and everyone else in that regard, in that we ended up with 4 players with 2 losses apiece. So then it became like a 4-player knockout for the championship. They had dropped a die, so they paused the clock, and then maybe weren't quite certain how to restart it after the pause when they retrieved the die. But all is well. Well, he might want to, and he can't clean it up totally. So he just he leaves the 2 blots in his outfield, which Reza will have to break his mid to hit, but he doesn't have the opportunity to hit. Bayravin went ahead and secured his midpoint and has a 4-point prime over there with Reza with 3 behind it. So what he opts not to hit. He just plays on. 4-2, he can safety these checkers. Three, 1, slot, make the 5. He would 6-5. Again, he's going to play safe. Reza's got a pretty nice board over here. Doesn't want to chance being hit. Now he can be interesting to see how he decides to play this. He's going to make the 3, or he's considering making the 3. He could run clear from the 22, but he stays back. Mr. Bayravin, with a pretty good racing lead and a good structure, decides that he'll force Mr. Reza to pay to see the next roll, and Mr. Reza says that's okay. I'll keep the money in my pocket. So 2-2, we have a 5-point match. Okay, nice opening 4-2 for Bayravin, makes the 4-point, as is the standard play. There's a nice 6-1 reply, so he takes the bar point. As y'all might have noticed, we're playing with here at this tournament time settings, 1.5, effectively 1.5 points or 1.5 minutes per point for the bank and 12-second delay. So 7-point match, 1.5 is 10.5, and they rounded up to the nearest minute. So they started with 11 minutes apiece. So it's a little bit faster time settings than perhaps the traditional 2 and 12, but that is it's kind of requisite with this Swiss format, particularly in the championship division, to move the matches along at a little bit more brisk pace and be able to complete, stay on schedule. Okay, he's got a nice 4-point prime there, but not too much structure behind it. He's heavy on the 6. I would personally think this is probably a take. I'm taking it. And let's see what he does. He's got a bit of a racing edge, not terribly significant. He does take it. And let's see if Mr. Asa can capitalize. Again, he's got a bit of inflexibility with, with not much diversification with the checkers outside of the prime. And all his pairs are on the 6-point. So 6-3 is going to force him to leave a shot somewhere. So let's see what happens. And that's least shots, I believe. He could, if he does that, he's going to run all the way. So then he's vulnerable to 6s and 3s. But he maintains his midpoint, 6-2. Now, he could hit. He could also come out and make that point. But opts for the hit. 4-3. And he probably step up, but which one does he wish to step up with? He goes to the 18. Again, doesn't want to break that priming structure. Obviously, doesn't want to give up his midpoint. So 6-3. Oh, he's going to play it safe. I thought at some point here he might step up against the edge of that, the leading edge of that prime structure, try to escape. Alex is shaking, apparently transcribing or at least putting in specific positions. So we certainly appreciate that effort, Alex, and your contributions to this this stream. 5-4. That now. He's going to slide on that front. With the anchors, not as much danger as it might be otherwise. Ace-5 is a good play. Comes in on the ace, but it's a makes Reyes play that much better. Now he's a favorite to, you know, remake the 4 prime or even a 5 prime, but the dice don't cooperate, so he'll go with the 3 point. Still heavy on that 6 point. Is that aces? So be interesting. And make the bar, make the deuce. He could have thought about maybe sliding to the ace and stepping up again to the leading edge of that prime to get up. Of course, he would have paid a dear price for it because he would have been pointed on the deuce. But nice roll. 3-2. Okay, he's just going to make his 5 point. 3-2 the other way. Now, he could bring 2 down, leaving only a 3-6 hit. A6 it is. So he plays it to the 6 point. No way to really generate another builder to work on the 3 with that 6-1. 5-4. Probably he could put go to the 5 and a 7 here, I suspect. I'll even give Alex another shout out while he's while I'm talking about him here. His new book is out on, and he'll have to remind me of the specific title, but it's on Backgammons, and I've not yet acquired it or seen anything, but I've heard a lot of great things about it, and I know a number of people have anticipated it for a long time. So congratulations, Alex, and thanks for that contribution to the backgammon community as well. Alex, or backgame strategies. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so he hits that checker. Now this is well, the ace-4 is he's gonna have to come in on the ace and hit. He pauses in contemplation for a moment. Just too many pointing numbers otherwise. Oh, he's not going to hit. I'm a bit surprised by that because he's an easy target, and I just okay. He's going to go ahead and safety. I would have definitely hit that checker on the 9 point, but he chose not to. Three, 2 makes the 4 points. Now he has a 6 point prime. He'll start attacking on the front of it, perhaps, and go fishing for a second checker. But Beiravin has made such a good board that might be disadvantageous at this stage now. So he'll just try to bring it home without taking the chance of getting hit himself and getting trapped behind that 5-point board up there. So he hopes to just bring it home. That one makes double fours play. The other one would have made deuces play in a pointing nature. Five, three. Now, this is interesting. Okay, he chooses not to hit, which is probably wise. Chooses not to break his 7-point, which is probably wise as well. But there are some bad numbers in the cup, but there's also some very good numbers. Okay, but a 6 and the race is on, but he doesn't get it. So now, race is in pretty good shape. He's still got some bad numbers, but and there's one of the bad numbers. So obviously he's just going to make the ace and take 2 off the 5. Can't take 3 off and leave 2 blots. So that's the only reasonable play. Looking for a 5, gets a 5. So now, without an ace, speaking of aces, and a good one, ace 6, he was staring at Biravan sending him a 4 cube that he would have had to drop, and he sends a 4 cube anyway. This is rather optimistic, I think. Wow. Sure, Reza's got to, if Biravan comes in, Reza's still got to navigate this, expands, but he could well dance for a roll or two, and this could get painful. Oh, he realizes, look at the camera, he realizes that he perhaps inadvertently doubled from the bar. So, kind of hits the clock and resignation. Brings the 9 on around. Now, unless he gets lucky with a 6-3 or 5-4, 5-1. And it's interesting. He might have stayed on the 5. Didn't matter, as it turns out. But didn't he play 4-4? Nonetheless, obvious. It looked like a very poor recube, and it doubtlessly was. And then when he realized he had done it with a checker in the air, you could tell that he, Jesus, what kind of brain freeze was that? So, fortunately, from his perspective, he's got a life to play with here, because he might need it. Again, they had both in the championship division and in the they call it, I said championship. I'm used to the kind of the American term in that regard. They call it the Masters here and in Europe. In the Masters division and in the intermediate division, where these guys are playing from, there was a huge Iranian contingent, that's great. It's great to see, the people in Iran, for whatever political and financial reasons, don't have the opportunity to travel that much to a lot of international tournaments. So it was great to see a lot of the Iranian players here, the ones that I met and visited with, all just great people, and really enjoyed visiting with them. And so that was great. I don't know how many Iranians ultimately came. I know Patrick had said he had like 80 Plus who had expressed an intent that they were coming, but I don't know what the ultimate number was. But that's neat. That's really neat. There was a tremendous diversity of ethnicities, I guess, religions, national origins, what have you, at this tournament. But it was just a community backgammon joy fest of some sort. I don't know what the right term would be, but everybody enjoyed it. Okay, so now Crawford game for Mr. Reza. I've won. Beravan going to have to try to recover. And this is one of those things, I mean, we all have oversights. We all have brain freezes on occasion. And you just, you got to accept it and move on and put it out of your mind and play the next game or play the next move. Only 11:20, Alex, but that's exactly right. He didn't realize. And when he, on the next roll, when he started to play inside his board, and the guy says, no, you have one on the bar, you could just see him kind of slap his forehead like, oh, my God, what have I done? And so it happens. Fortunately, like we say, for him, I mean, this game, they haven't moved the cube back to the center. If Tara's listening on the headphones, you might there, but he saw it, and I don't know if he just happened to notice it or if Tara reacted when I said something, but anyway, they corrected it and put it in the center. And of course, it's a Crawford game anyway, so it couldn't be, on 4. But anyway. And it's interesting, and I don't know, these guys had never met either one of them before, immediately before this match started. So I don't know how much they might be intimidated by playing on the stream, playing in a final, playing on the top of the Burj Khalifa. And on the stream with the camera, with whomever watching, ultimately their friends and family and everybody else. So who knows? Some people, that doesn't bother them. Other people, it kind of freaks them out. So listen, Irene. Thank you, Irene. The sun's going down behind me there, so we're losing a lot of that light and glare off the windows. I'm sitting in the the atmosphere is on the 122nd floor of the Burj Khalifa. It's a restaurant and lounge. We're in the lounge half of it, I guess you would say. And within that, they have, in the main dining rooms of restaurants or the main bar of lounges and what have you, you can't smoke, much as in much of the world, but they do provide a smoking room adjacent. And I guess here when you're on the 122nd floor, you can't just step outside on the sidewalk and take a smoke. So there's a smoking room next to the main lounge area, and that's where we're playing. And it doesn't reek of smoke or anything like that. It's not a small area. It's very, as you can see on the player cam there, it's a very attractive, comfortable space, and it's really neat. I mean, how many people have the opportunity? And I know Tara and myself and Justin Knoll, we're all terribly excited with the potential of terribly excited by the potential of getting to play here. Of them getting to play here and us getting to be here. So anyway, quite an environment, quite an experience. So Oh, and I was going to say, I'm in the general manager, Atmosphere's general manager's office, which is adjacent to this smoking room. And you know, as out the door, there's a hallway back through the kitchen and service areas of the restaurant and lounge. But wow, what an opportunity. It's a really neat experience. Okay, so you know, Reza's got a very nice structure, but he's also got two checkers trapped back there. So he needs to get something moving if he can. He's got a bit of time. There's a 6-5. He's just got to play in. So you know, Baravin's in a stronger position, but Reza's got a little bit of timing left in his cups there. So let's see what happens. Oh, 5-4. He's trying to save his sixes. Double threes is pretty nice. He can make the, well, he's taking 3 off. He could have made the 2-point and eliminated any gaps. He's at 5 away, so the difference in the G is not that terribly important. Takes away a free drop, but we can see that it cost him a shot. And, you know, and again, I don't know these guys, know their skill levels or experience levels or whatever, but, you know, if he gets hit here, and he does, of course, Reza can't cover it. But, you know, in review and reflection on this, he'll perhaps realize that he might have taken a little bit more time and considered playing that double 3 differently. But, you know, serious burns on a, you know, an erroneous play or a misplay or whatever, and he rolls a deuce, but the 3's not going to be too attractive either, although he gets 2 in the air. But hard lessons are lessons remembered for a long time, oftentimes. Okay, so no, well, yeah, there's no, well, now he's going to double switch on him, probably. One of the hazards, but I think his play was likely correct. Wow. It looks like they turned the lights on in the room or something over there. 6-5. So he might get that G anyway, although he's got a little bit of an awkward structure still yet. Shot time. Set of 5s. Come on around. Only has to burn 1 pip to make that play. Okay, now he's just got to worry about getting BG'd. Now, BGs do matter. G's didn't really matter. BGs matter big. Gets away with that. That's like in, I don't know, I heard it related to Art Benjamin, but the rule of 8 or something like that. If your opponent's down to 8 checkers, whereby he can get off in 2 sets of doubles, and you have 2 back, you need to be leaving with one of them. Okay, now this is post Crawford, so Mr. Beyravin needs to remember that and act accordingly, and he's not. I don't think 6-1, that's kind of ugly. I think there's really any necessarily game to be played here. Now it's post Crawford, so he's going to try to make a jailbreak here. 6-1 gets hit. Just going to have to come down from the mid, probably. If he gets hit, Backgammon has a blot in his home board. So once again, he makes a run for it. Now, A6, there he goes. Now he's just going to have to, hopefully, I don't know. You gotta be building a board here at some point. So it might have been time to unstack that 6 point and make the 3 point, but let's see what happens. Okay, now. Whoa, no, is he that far ahead? Okay, set of deuces, and he's just content on racing and running and not building any kind of structure. And maybe I haven't counted, and I guess he is that far ahead. But you know, again, he might he had that one kind of brain freeze a little bit earlier on that recube on the previous game. He might be slapping himself on the forehead again if he realizes he didn't send this cube post Crawford. Well, now that we see the way he's played this thing, he's that's a nice shake, but he's probably a bit behind in the pip count. Whoa, that's curtains, but he didn't play for any containment or potential to hit that if Reza had to break off the 18 over there, and the end result was he had like 10 or 12 checkers on the 6 point, and Reza was able to take advantage of a much better distribution. So it looks like we're very possibly, slap my face. I was going to say, looked like we were heading to a second game, and we still yet might be. Boom. Nope, we're going to continue this game. Wow, such are the vagaries of backgammon. Looks like, and again, looks like it still has never dawned on him that he didn't send that cube, and even when he scored it, didn't look like he realized it. So maybe he will now at 2 away. It's interesting, Jedi Master, and I'm not even sure who that is. If you want to identify yourself, I'd appreciate it. But well, we had several matches during the week that had those kinds of sequences of 3 or 4 rolls, just Joker back and forth. I know Sebastian Wilkinson and Daniel Tedosi's match ended like that yesterday morning, and then yesterday in like round 8 or something like that, Stefan Nunez beat Shy Ashraf at DMP with Ashraf had like 3 checkers left, and Stefan had 8 and rolled 2 sets and stole the match. Well, I probably shouldn't interject a scream of doubling across through the wall here, but again, I was really surprised that it didn't strike him, shall we say, at least when he won that game and scored it, but apparently not. Charges on with the cube in the middle. Well, that's exactly right, Alex, and I'd referred to that earlier. They, Iran, the traditional national game that they play, and I don't know exactly what they call it in Iran, in Greece and Turkey and places like that, it's tavli or tavla or whatever. But they don't use the doubling cube, and it's kind of a late addition to their repertoire as they attempt to join the international backgammon scene. And, perhaps they're just, I don't know how long these guys have been playing or anything, on this, in a tournament type environment. And, perhaps he just is so unaccustomed or unfamiliar with it that he just doesn't, it's not as natural to him, let's say, as it might be to many of us in this situation. Well, it's interesting because it's allowing Reza to play a little bit, I don't know, more freely than he would were 2 cubes sitting there on his side of the table. So he's always, sitting there in effect with however this game progresses, of almost holding a free drop in his pocket the entire length of the game. And Baravan is having to play for a natural gammon here, so it's kind of it's an interesting turn in the game, in the match execution. And maybe you're right, Divad, or I apologize if I mispronounced that, but, again, if he is not terribly experienced in the tournament environment and what have you, maybe he thinks Crawford applies throughout. Who knows? I'll, perhaps I'll have the opportunity to ask him. He speaks reasonable English, it seemed, and he has a friend who is here with him that speaks good English. And I shouldn't probably just say good English. I should say fluent English. His friend speaks. So, yeah, Jeff, wouldn't that be something? He wins a natural G, and okay, and maybe that opens up a little bit because he just he has to leave that lot there, and this guy has the opportunity to attack it. Now he can hit and go onto the ace point and put him in the air. Oh man, he's not gonna play for the G. So anyway, it's easy to be a bench jockey here, and I mean, no. Oh, there he well, he did have some awareness of the cube. There it is, and like I said, with it going like that, Deira, in effect, had a free drop in his pocket the entire game. Okay, so here we are. DMP. Nope, we're not going to see a cube in this game either. And so now this will either be the last game of the intermediate tournament or the last game of the penultimate match of the intermediate tournament. So let's see who prevails here. Wow, set up fours. That plays nicely. I'm stepping up and then making the 9 point. Gotta be. Do 6. There you go. Yeah, we've all done it. TG win. Either forgetting it entirely or forgetting the score or what have you. And been there, done that. It's interesting because, and I see it just, and he's a little bit out of the camera, but just kind of looking at it from his body language, that maybe he's never gotten over that recube 3 or 4 games ago. It still just kind of blew his mojo, cost him his focus. But that's the thing, be it, just an oversight blunder like he made, or, piece of bad luck or what have you. You got to quickly learn in backgammon. You just got to let it go. And, you can't change the past. You can't change or attempt to change the future. And, you just got to take the emotion out of it and learn to let it go. And he's, and I don't know that he is. It just strikes me that it seems he's, he's still got that on his mind a bit. And it's interesting, and it's good. We've got well over 300 people watching this match. You can see the brackets and leaderboards and this, that, and the other at ftbgsystem.com. ftbgsystem.com. So, and the first thing that comes up, some I don't know, ads for some Cypress tournaments and so forth. But if you scroll down a little bit, you'll come to the links to the various Dubai tournament events. Absolutely, Alex. And that's, be it that lesson or many other lessons in backgammon, risk reward analyses and evaluations, you know, controlling one's emotions, letting go of, misfortune or bad, whatever. Backgammon's a lot like life. And there you go. Yeah, and as Tara points out there, and I keep forgetting to say it, below the YouTube frame there's a description with all the links as well. So anyway, Mr. Oh, it's great with the mirror on the far wall too, so you can see what's going on. There's Patrick Jabelli in the black shirt, looking at one of the computers there. Justin in the jacket. He'll be doing the commentary later on. So, like Patrick's explaining something to someone. I don't know. Now there's a gentleman, and I don't know him, in the white T-shirt. He's a Russian gentleman, is one of the finalists in the championship division. There in the coat up on the little walkway above there, that's Mr. Manuel. He is the general manager of Atmosphere. And you see the guys in the red shirts walking around are the photography people from Myco. And man, what a job Myco did throughout this tournament. They had a staff of about 18 at the tournament every day of the tournament. And there's a lot of videography. Sure, come on in. A lot of videography and still photography, interviews, what have you. And as you might have seen in our private streaming room, the player cams would be looking across the playing room, and on the other side, the wall opposite where we were at, they had 6, I guess you would call them, content editors over there. So as all of these videos and interviews and what have you were being shot, I guess it was wirelessly connected to all of these live editors in the streaming room there. It was just an amazing operation. And if you go to Skillz Facebook page, MINDSKILZ, their Facebook page, they put up kind of a summary, I don't know what we want to call it, a video each day that was kind of I'm drawing a blank for the word I'm looking for, but a compilation of a lot of shortcuts of various shots and videos from videos, interviews, this, that, and the other that had gone on, and those are just very professionally done. They're really fun to watch. So you need to go. Montage is what I was one of the words I was looking for, Alex. So thank you there. That's talking about backgammon is like life, and it is in so many ways. In fact, fun little movie that came out about 15 years ago, the Bulgarian movie, and backgammon was used as a plot mechanism within the movie. And the name of the movie was something like The World is Flat and Salvation Lurks Around the Corner, or something similar to that, crazy like that. And it was really a neat movie. And if you get a chance, I don't know if it's on Netflix or otherwise available, but check it out. It's kind of fun. So anyway, Mochi did not reach the final. The 2 championship finalists, and my phone is just about out of juice here, but let me review these names. Well, one of them is Anders Nederland from Denmark. is one of the Masters finalists, and the Anders, not Nylander, Anders Nylander from Denmark. Nice guy, speaks great English. I visited with him and his wife a fair amount over the last couple of days. He's a former champion of the Nordic Open, former champion of the Swedish Open, and the other championship finalists, and I'll doubtlessly butcher this name, but Eirat Fatikov, and that's the guy sitting on the couch, the sofa on the right there, in the t-shirt, and I think the gentleman with him is, a friend of some sort. They each brought like a second with them. Nylander brought his wife. Fatikov brought this guy. I'm not sure who he is. So anyway, it's such a beautiful little room there, and I didn't realize that it was there, but that glass or mirrored wall on the other side giving you a reflection of the entire room and what's going on behind the camera there and so forth. It's really neat. You can see what a beautiful place it is, and we'd really like to and Mr. Manuel is sitting here behind me in his office now, and I'd like to express on behalf of the entire tournament team and so forth our appreciation for your hospitality in making this venue available to us. Yeah, I know it's the second match.
So, I was like getting ready for the match.
I didn't really notice, but I knew there was a second match, and I had informed everybody of the second match, and we're all cool.
I hope you told them why we were late.
I didn't tell them why we were late, but Tara had her head in the door here. She said, "I hope you told them why we were late starting." What was kind of a, I don't know, multifaceted aspect to that. Tara and I, with all of our equipment, had a little bit of trouble getting, and we were pre-approved and been given pre-clearance and all this kind of stuff, but still yet we had some difficulty. It took us about an hour to get into the building and up to the atmosphere. So we got about an hour later start and setting everything up than we had anticipated. We were hoping to start at 5. And then, of course, and I don't know if it was due to traffic or what the problems was, but Patrick and all of the players, there he has Mr. Fatikov waving at, sure, maybe some of his friends and family are watching, so he's giving a shout out to everybody. But Patrick and the players arrived perhaps 30 minutes later than they had intended. So that's why we were late. We apologize, but hopefully y'all are getting to see some beautiful streams here. Tara's production quality is just amazing, and amazing venue. And of course, these guys are and everybody attended here, just incredible view. I can look back over my shoulder here, and we're on the 122nd floor, and it's dark now, and the city's lit up, and all the buildings are lit up, and it's just amazing. Well, that's great, Irene and TG Wynn and Tapio. Appreciate y'all's input in it, and it was by virtue of some, I don't know, some oversights, maybe some skill levels not developed as highly as a lot of championship level players. Perhaps, just a lack of experience and so forth. They were making some plays that, could in effect highlight some fundamentals in the game. It was perhaps, as who was it, TG Wynn or somebody said they're perhaps more instructive in certain regards than some of the matches that have been streamed of more accomplished players. So that's great. I mean, we typically are, broadcasting to a varied spectrum of people. And here, look at this. Reza is not wasting any time. He's got perhaps a racing advantage, but Beiravin has the anchor. He's got, a good 3-point board and developing structure in his home board. Reza's got kind of a little picket fence defense here with the 8 heavy. I think this is, from my perspective at least, I'd be taking it rather quickly. But, here it is. These guys are sitting the final match of a major tournament on the stream. People watching, they want to win. They don't want to make a mistake. He lets it go. It'll be Alex is transcribing perhaps, and so anyway, 1-0 Reza. So 6-5 by Beiravin. Set of deuces will work, similar to his previous game. So, and it's interesting, and who knows? I mean, again, I'm not familiar with these players, and they're not as experienced as some of the players that we're more familiar with. And man, he's come to play backgammon. He's not wasting any time. So, it just seems as though he sat back down with this aggressive game plan in mind, and he's going to go for the gusto. He's going to put the pressure on Beiravin, and let's see what happens. But I was going to say that. Now I lose my train of thought for a second. But some of the more experienced players certainly will, at time, gain some appreciation for the psychology or philosophy of their opponents and how they play and when they're going to drop, when they're going to take this, that, and the other, and take reads from players and so forth. I don't think that maybe occurs as much in the intermediate division, but perhaps we're seeing a little bit of it here, and that's 2 in a row that. Hey, Joe Urso's in the house. Yeah, that's 2 in a row there that I thought were relatively simple takes and probably were 2 early doubles, and he let them both go. So again, I don't know if it's who knows? It could be the environment. It's just, and now he gets. Again, he extricates a 2 back checkers, so now Beiravin going to get the advanced anchor, but Reza might be whipping it out of his pocket here and throwing the cube at him again pretty quickly. He's got a pretty substantial racing advantage, perhaps. There it comes. I mean, he came to play, and it's like he's going to miss his plane or something too. But okay, Joe Urso, my man, Eric Peterson, probably in his room. Well, he takes this one, and as he should, I think. Eric Peterson's probably over at the Hyatt Regency in his room watching this. Or are you down in the playing room? They're supposed to be broadcasting this on some projection screens and so forth, Eric? Hopefully they are. And if you're in the playing room, you can confirm to me that they are doing that. Yeah, it might have been, he let those first two go, which were probably, maybe he just got tired of passing. You like, I got to draw the line here somewhere. So, but this one was a take, as were the others, I think. And so anyway, game on. Absolutely, TG win. If he's going to keeps dropping takes, then keep sending them that much earlier. And I think that's what we saw. And again, and it's interesting to me watching, and it again, it's probably their and Iranian culture and heritage, fast play, this, that, and the other. So they're snapping up those dice before the other guy hits the cube oftentimes, which is not what should happen, and would draw a rebuke from many players, but they both seem to be comfortable with it. Oh, so, man, these guys, they might be trying to make the same flight home to Iran. So here we go. If you touch it, it's a double. I don't know if you fondle it, if it's a take, but he does take it. It's not, by the way. It's okay. So here we go. We might be looking at another short match, but ooh, look at this set of fives. Count it up. He's probably well ahead. So just the way I like to do, send a nice optimistic recube and then roll a set of fives right afterwards. Well, certainly Devon or whatever. I've seen the game in the Turkey, Greece, wherever, played extremely rapidly, but these guys are playing with pace. I don't think you'll see see as much speed in the Masters final coming up next. Certainly, I think Nylander will be much more deliberate. I'm not sure of Fatikov. Haven't really watched him play. Yeah, huge no double and humongous take in that second game. So it might be good. Somebody was suggesting earlier, I forget who it was, that maybe we should have been having an XG feed on the intermediate final as well, and I don't know that would have been necessarily fair to these guys. XG's, it's not the holy grail. It's an indicative of play, but a single match and certainly a single game is a very small sample size, and you can get some radically good or bad numbers sometimes. So here we go again. Man. This me. I'm just at a loss for words here. Okay, here we go. Nickels. Re-roll it. 5-3. You know, now at 4-way, 3-way, Mr. Reza might try to capitalize on Baravin's tendency to drop and or tendency to get tired of dropping and taking, and raises at 4-way, so he may give him another early one to chew on. I like that reply, Tapio. That's good. Okay, here we go. 5-1. Not I don't know. You're outboarded. Do you want to hit that? Does unstack. What else should you do, though? He could, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the specific terminology, but he could hit 2. He could go out to the 16, which is probably what I do. It's at 1-4, so he's going to take the hit over there. 4-6. That's not exactly what Mr. Racer had in mind, so now he's playing with 4 blots. Gets one of them hit. He's playing pretty rapidly. He could have considered, oh, that's a shake. Man, double aces. Makes the, comes in and makes the 5-point and the 7-point. 6-5 is blocked. It's going to go to the deuce. Here we go, baby. Boom. Takes it. You know, and it's funny. It seems like, you know, he'll ponder and let them go sometimes when they seem to be superbly easy takes. And then when one that might be, not saying this wasn't a take, but one that might deserve a bit more contemplation, he snaps it up like a hot rock. So, okay, so, double dribble. So Race trying to realize, nice shake there. You can answer that phone call later, Mr. Race. But nice roll by Bayrovin to forestall the blitz. He rolled 4-3 to bring them both in, so see what happens. Yeah, Jeff, that was my perception as well. So, that's, again, it's part of what makes Backgammon a great game. You have those sorts of occurrences. It's a dice game, so, you know, who knows what's happens with the dice on occasion. So it's just, I mean, it's just, now you might want to, well, you could do that. You could have made the 2-point, had a 5-point board, but we shall see. Now, think. you can take that 2-point again. Second time in a row, he will eschew the 2-point. I was telling Toby last night, we were laughing. I think it might have been Ray. I said, I always try to get in at least one good eschew about every other match or so. Now, he does take the 2-point this time. Okay. I must be, oh, there's a, so, Rosie O'Donnell might have entered the building. So, very possibly here, Syed Hamid Reza has come from behind, having 2 losses going into the final, as opposed to Beravin's 1 loss. And unless things go terribly bad, although that's 6-2 now, you've got kind of an awkward structure, but very possibly, well, and there it is, going to have to clear the 3 or something. But definitely got the potential. There's a 4. Now you're just going to have to wait. Okay. Deuce 1. Pick and pass. Huh? Try to just further ensure that gammon. Now y'all might notice the Mind Skillz logo, the atmosphere logo, and a rendering of the Burj Khalifa on the playing surface of these boards. So it's quite attractive, I think. And the cups, I don't know that we'll be able to notice it, but the dice cups have the that Burj Khalifa and atmosphere logo on them as well. So this is going to be curtains, folks. And Mr. Syed Hamid Reza is going to be the intermediate champion of the Oasis 2023 International Cup. So congratulations to both gentlemen. Mr. Reza for winning, Mr. Beravin for being the finalist, and having gotten to the final with only 1 loss himself. So very good. Hey, Hannah de Rossier is in the house. Hey, Hannah, how are you doing? Okay, so that was exciting and fast paced, which makes for a bit, in certain regards, more entertaining viewing as well. Jimmy de Rossier, hello, sir. I think y'all are going to be in Vegas, aren't you? So we'll see you next week. So looking forward to seeing Jimmy, Millie, and Hannah in Las Vegas at Rory's Las Vegas Open. We're going to be racing home from Dubai on Tuesday, and we fly direct 16 hours Dubai to Houston on Tuesday. We're on the ground for 16 hours in Houston, and we get on another flight to go to Las Vegas to stream the Las Vegas Open for Rory. Okay, so here we are. They need to reset the clocks. Somebody is resetting the clocks. Need to go 22-14. Let's change the scoreboard as well. Tara's taking care of that.
Congratulations to both of you. This is an incredible performance.
Yeah, Jeff, as you pointed out, and I had said something about it too, I think, and Joe Urso, but at that 4-way, 3-way score, and Reza was having no trouble pulling the trigger fast and often there. So at 4-away, you could pretty much bank on it coming out pretty quick, and sure enough, he did.
Okay. Yeah, we need.
Okay.
Now he was wanting maybe to use his own dice, but
What's it normally?
those are our we kiddingly call them our magic dice. They have no glare,
Let's check.
or very little, if ever,
what
glare.
he likes to do.
Seem to have really nice lighting in this venue.
Any particular.
So now we shall, and these gentlemen both have 2 losses. So this is the ultimate final. Anders Nylander, very nice guy. He's a social worker from Denmark.
Which way?
Former champion of the Nordic Open, former champion of the Swedish Open.
Okay. And this way.
Well, I think, and again, sometimes I'm not sure, and I should have checked on it, but these guys are starting pretty quick. I've assumed
Okay.
I'm not sure what the given name and surname of Fatikov Erad is. Anders Nylander is Anders is his first name, obviously.
Thank you.
But some of in the database and on the brackets and this, that, and the other, some people were listed first name first and some were listed last name first, and I'm not sure about Fatikov Erad. Okay, so a 5-3, 6-1, both get nice pointing numbers early on. Now, I think what I suspect, I don't think we ever streamed Fatikov this week. I did see him, play a little bit, just walking around the room on occasion and so forth. And I think we're going to see another very fast-paced player. I think Nylander is going to be a much more I don't know what we want to say, deliberate player or whatever. He's going to be more traditional in that regard, is what we've seen. Now, you can see here we do have an extra feed, and we'd like to thank Justin Knoll for providing that service. Pardon me. Okay, Nylander's kind of, by virtue of some rolls, got heavy on the 6 and the 8, or 6 and the 7. This is kind of he's 24 pip lead, but just, regrettable structure here. Nothing he wants to write home about. Hopes nobody takes a picture of it before he unstacks them. But of course, he's on the stream, so everybody sees those stacks. Yeah, Joe. I should have looked. I didn't. I do know the 4, shall we say, semifinalists. The last 4 guys with 2 losses. Before they started their semifinal matches, I witnessed them all jointly meeting and agreeing upon some type of mutual hedge among the 4 of them, and all signed off on it. But I didn't get so nosy as to stick my head into it. So there are there were some hedges going on. I think first place, and again, I didn't really look at the numbers, but they're into the mid to high 5-figure range, I'm thinking. And of course there was some side pool action as well. There was a morale. The final 4 did, and I don't know if it was some kind of even split. I would suspect it was shared in some fashion, but typically you would expect the victor to realize a a bit more than the others, but they certainly did enter into some kind of a group hedge arrangement, but I don't know the particulars of it. Well, you know, and it kind of worked out good for the tournament and the scheduling of the tournament and the scheduling of an ultimate final here. Beginning this morning, there were 6 players remaining, 1 with 1 loss and 5 with 2 losses. And in those first 3 matches, where, of course, there were 2 pairings of 2 lost players, you were going to get rid of 2. But the match that included a 1 lost player and a 2 lost player, the 2 lost player won. So that ended up giving us 4 2 lost players. So then it's just like a 4-player knockout after that. So, you know, eliminated the potential of another round and also eliminated the potential of a second final match here. So both with 2 losses, this is it. So here we go. Fatikov obviously counting the race. He'll find himself up by 2. I don't think that's going to be adequate for him to cube, but certainly close enough that he should have considered it as he did. Typically, and there are some further considerations with score and distribution and so forth, but something on the order of a standard rule of thumb would be a 10% pip count advantage to allow one to double. Okay, so again, it's dead even pip count. Fatikov is looking at it again. We can see by the XG feed it's no double take. He is a 60% favorite, but that's not adequate. We appreciate everybody watching today. We're up to close to 300 viewers here. Be sure to smash that like button for Mark Olson. We don't want him getting upset with any of us. And of course, hitting that like button not only serves Backgammon Galaxy's YouTube channel, but it serves Backgammon as a whole, as it enhances some search engine algorithms and what have you. So take that small effort to hit that like button. Okay, so well, now he's probably he's 10 pips ahead after that roll. Let's see what now he might. He's only going to be 5 up, but Nylander has much better distribution. Fatikov has that open 2-point and heavy on the 5 and a 6. So I think he's going to he'll count this and then roll on. Brandon Macklin is in the house. My man. Now, I gave it a little shout out to Galaxy there, and some of the other sponsors, and I'm not familiar with them, but an organization called Daman Markets was apparently an exclusive sponsor, and all of us in Backgammon thank those who support the game. And then, of course, Patrick Jabelli and his group, he puts his heart and soul and tremendous enthusiasm and energy into this tournament, and it was a spectacle. And he's got grand plans to do it again next year. And I would encourage everybody to make an attempt to check it out for yourself. And neat city, neat place, just great tournament amenities and what have you. So think about it. Okay, so what do we got? We got 12 checkers against 11 checkers. Very close. Whoa, well that, unless he pours one on top of him in reply, that pretty much did it. That's not going to work. So cash in this 1-0 Nylander.
One second.
Bill Finneran is in the house. Hello, Mr. Finneran. Okay, 1-0 Anders Nylander. He wants to add the Oasis 2023 championship to his trophy case, which, among other things I've been told, he's a past winner of the Nordic Open and a past winner of the Swedish Open. So, you know, nice resume. Patika Erat, I'm not familiar with. And I should have maybe done a little research, but I didn't have time to research. Well, and maybe even in this tournament, I'm reading a chat line here with Stubby and others, and hi, Richard, that, you know, maybe dice on checkers is more appropriate with these reduced clock settings as well. No, Richard, both these guys have 2 losses, so this is the ultimate final. This is it. These checkers are kind of thin and kind of real sharp edges in a sense. So, and they're light. Very light. So some liked them, some didn't. Guess that's always the case. Well, I hope we got some rain at my house out there too. Okay, so back in. Hits the one. Does he hit the second? Probably so. Always something to be said for 2 in the air. Enters with both, putting a checker of his own in the air. Ooh. Not good to dance on a 2-point board. I always hate that. It's a second one. Okay, now, what's the count? He's up 8. No, he's down 18. Make the 3-point. So Mr. Fatikov Erot Fanders doesn't perform, and he doesn't in a sense, but okay, so he gets them both in. I was, and I don't know that he ever had a double. He had 4 and 5 back, but he also had quite a few checkers in the zone to perhaps blitz attack himself, but it stayed in the center, and here we are. And we got 2 in the air on the other side of the table. And now again, it can pass. And now Fatikov, I'm going to say I'd certainly be considering it, but it remains still yet a fairly sizable no double. Nice shot, hitting, maybe not. Guess he's looking that he could make the 6-point as well and kind of end this hitting exchange, but can't be. I don't think it's wrong. If it is wrong, it's not wrong by much. So I would hit. Okay, he eschews the hit, as they say. Got in the shoe for this game too, and that was pretty sizable there. Not exactly. You're not going to hold that 2-6 game very long anyway. So let's see what happens. Okay, 3-1. I think he misread it. And that's he just absolutely misread that. He thinks it's a 3-2.
Oh, sorry. That's awesome.
Fatikov corrects him. So now he's going to see the hit. Well, we look forward to seeing you in Vegas, Oscar. Okay. You do. I think I like this one. He could have safetied to the mid, but I kind of like this one myself. Joe Urso. And we're going to race halfway around the world to get to Las Vegas, and Joe Urso isn't going to be there. Gee. Okay, 5. Well, let's think about that. Yep, 5 and 3 in. Wow, then what you do with this? Hits it, I guess. High risk, high reward. Boom. Yeah, I like the 10-7 also, but let's see. Yes. Stubby's not coming. Urso's not coming. I guess we're going to be streaming thin air. Now, here we go. Let's see. Mr. Fatikov Ararat is only up by 68 pips. But that's pretty big. Too good to double and pass. Big, huge pass. Well, he tends to want to drop it. He'd reached to drop it once and reconsidered. Yeah, that's smell like Brandon Macklin. He's good for streaming all the way around. He's not playing and getting on the stream. Okay. Y'all probably almost caught me dozing off. I'm running on empty here. But nice bar point 6-1. What's his other options? He make no. I don't know. I don't like to bury that. Although once you slide it, you may as well make it. You got to make it ultimately. But with the option of being able to make the bar, I'm going to go ahead and make the bar. Yeah, Verso in there. The field just got easier. Brandon, you might need to get out there. Three, 5. One. Split the back. They do have coffee in Dubai. I'm not a coffee drinker, but Tara's been drinking a fair amount, and we've been so busy and getting so little sleep that helps to fuel the body sometimes. There, dancing on the 2-point board. slowing down with another one. No, he's going to step up. 316, it wanted to run all the way with the back. Okay. Get any rum. You can get pretty much what I've seen. You can get pretty much anything you want. And it's interesting, as a digress, some of y'all are talking various Dubai type stuff. Actually, there's 9-hour differential right now. There may be a difference outside of daylight saving times. It may be 10, but and I'll agree. It took Tar and I. I'm not sure. We're still totally time acclimated, and we've been here 10 or 11 days. For whatever reason, it's not that many time zones differentially, but it hit us a lot harder than many of our frequent European journeys do. It's funny, and I should pay more attention and not digress so much, but y'all talking coffee makes me think it's pretty interesting. Apparently one of the big chains of sorts in Europe and maybe even some outlets in the States and so forth is, what's it called? Joe and the Juice or something like that. And as it turns up, and I'm going to forget his name right now, but good friend of Mark Olson's and been in a Monte Carlo tournament the last couple of years and so forth and so on, is the owner of Joe and the Java, or Joe and the Juice. Okay, here's that 2 cube by Red. Now he's got, 8 checkers on the 8 point? That's got to be a liability, and it is a no double and a take. That's going to be hard to successfully clear. Successfully and safely clear. Casper something other has been in Monte Carlo the last couple of years, and he and Mark Olson play doubles together and are good friends and what have you. Okay, I and it was a big take, and Fadikov took it. A set of deuces will play very nicely, and he's still that helped him a lot, but he still got 6 checkers on that 8 point. So if there's any 5s in his future, that could cause him a problem. 4s, he can handle that one. So see what it's kind of interesting. Fadikov took that cube, which was a big take, and so far, and what's this coming up? 5-3. Now he can go heavy to the ace, but Nylander rolled deuces and 4s, and cleaned up a lot of that mess. Now he needs one more roll to capitalize on his cube, and that's not the roll he wanted. So give me a 4, says Fadikov. I started to say any 4, well, not the combo 4s, just a 4. 11 numbers. Okay. Didn't get it. Okay. There's some. You can clean it up. You can also leave some blots. Pick and pass will work. Okay, so Anders is likely to bring this home. You know, he was very fortunate, I think, to you know, he had a, I guess it was a narrow double and a huge take, but you know, he successfully cleared those 8 checkers on that 8 checkers on the 8-point. So, this one is essentially over. Roll 3 sets and maybe save it, but that's not it. So, so much for it. 3-1 Anders Nylander. I want to take this break between the games here just to quickly say how much, how appreciative and gratified Tara and I are for being Patrick showing his faith and confidence in us and having us provide all of the streaming and commentary services here for the Dubai International Cup. And we love what we do. We hope y'all enjoy the product that we put out there, and we like to think that it we really serve well a number of tournaments that utilize our services. So thank you very much, Patrick, and to all of the Backgammon community. Okay, so now again, this Aces, that helps a bit. Step up. I was going to say if he danced or if depending on what he rolled, Fadikov might have had a little bit of an itchy trigger finger. He was up 37 pips before the roll, 34 pips after the rolls. But he'll roll on. Had he had that roll went otherwise, he might have had some inclinations to send it on that. Now he's going to make the bar, I would suspect. Yeah, although XG doesn't like that. 13,984. 3-2. Here it comes. 36 pip lead. Looks like a good double. It's very similar to that previous one. Well, take that back. That was a 360 take. This is 360 pass, and Nylander recognizes it as such. Vatiaikov. Now tell me, Boris, and welcome. I'm confused, and I'll blame it on the tournament a little bit. Some names they put into the database surname first, and some names they put in given name first. What's Fatikov? Wrong way. Fatiakov. What's his surname and what's his given name? Just out of curiosity, Boris. Apparently, Patikov is his last name. I see. Certainly, Boris's earlier statement implied that. Anyway. Okay, now, and it's interesting, and I had, not that these guys are necessarily playing slowly, but seems like slow motion after those two guys in the intermediate division. They were playing warp speed, and they weren't wasting any time throwing a cube around either. But made for an entertaining and fun match. 2 matches, I think. There you go, GL. It's few things tougher. Sub, you can play both directions, either direction, just whatever suits your fancy, doesn't matter. Now I will note too, it's a very beautiful board, and it does have the Burj Khalifa and atmosphere, or the atmosphere logo and the Burj Khalifa image. The winner will receive the board as well as I guess recognition of their victory. Be nice now, Alec. Yeah, I guess you're right, Richard. One of them's always going counterclockwise, but you can play from your perspective. You can play either way, counterclockwise or clockwise. Okay, so Nylander, Anders, very nice guy. In fact, I've gotten to know him a little bit over the last few days. Social worker in Denmark. Got a big 39. What is it after the shake? 35 pip lead. Nice structure, extricated back checkers. I'd be getting tempted where I am. 6-4 makes the bar. 6-4 also makes the 5. Okay, so it's Erod Patikov. I don't know. I'd have to hear it in person, Boris. But yeah, he seems like an extremely nice guy. Seems to be very even personality and what have you. Seems to really love and enjoy the game as well. So, Mr. Manuel. Okay. Again, he's got that to a 47 pip racing lead, but he's kind of some odd distribution. And air rot, I guess it is. Is that air rot? What? I'm going to wear Boris out trying to help my pronunciation here. Okay, gonna pay now. Gets it. Okay, so I've got to be, I don't know, what's the score? 3-2, no double still yet. Fairly substantially no double. He sends it, but, and I would have been tempted to send it too. I'll be the first to admit. It's a big take. It was a fairly sizable no double, so I'm guilty too. But let's see what happens. 48 pip lead. Now, for next, that's a nice shake. I was going to say, Erot has, a little bit of timing that he can sustain and hope that something goes awry for Anders in this bear end. You're right. You're right. We'll say you're right. Now, okay, he's able to sustain that roll. This is going to be kind of a awkward and flexible position to be rolling from. So let's see what happens. Okay, he just okay. Now, obviously, the timing has went to pot. He should fairly safely bring this one home. Not too many sequences that would force him to leave a shot. Yerat Fatikov. Okay. It's funny how often those train wreck double fours, double threes, and things like that come out. Gary Olson. Kind of interesting too, just glancing at these PRs here. Anders has played a really very solid match so far. Getting a little luck on his side and playing 3.08. Hard to hard to go wrong there. So now it's just, and he's not in any real danger of getting G'd, but his decision is when do I leave? Probably now. Yep. Because okay. 6-4. Oh, I like an high. Irat Fatikov. Okay. 4-3. Here's that. So looks like a are you gone? Thank you so much for your hospitality and hosting us here. Good evening.
Take care.
Our the general manager of Atmosphere is really leaving for the evening, and but what a and Patrick and he are good friends. Apparently, Mr. Manuel used to run some club in London, and Patrick frequented that, perhaps even directed some tournaments there, and they got to know each other that way. And then subsequently, Mr. Manuel ends up the general manager of Atmosphere in Dubai, and Patrick's been living here and working in Dubai for 23 years, I think he said. So they connected again, and that led to the finals of the Oasis International Cup being at the Atmosphere Lounge and Restaurant, 122nd floor of the Burj Khalifa. Truthfully, I don't know what the prizes are. I didn't see them. Maybe I should have went and looked, but I wasn't playing, so it didn't interest me, I guess. Okay, set of 5s. That'll work. But not much to be done with that. He's down 5-2 in the match, 20 pip lead, but he's got a lot of ground to traverse with the twins back here that haven't moved, and it's kind of interesting, and I don't know, Brandon, again, I haven't followed it at all. I don't really know. Didn't have any need to do so. But it's interesting, they had where we in the States use the term jackpot they use the word bonanza. They had a number of your, typical little side event bonanzas, 7-point knockout type things and things of that nature. But then they had a super bonanza, which was like a 500 euro entry, and I guess there were rebuys as well. But they had 110 entrants in the super bonanza, and then they had the mega bonanza, which was like including registration or whatever. There was it was like 1,200, and they got a 32 bracket there. So there were quite a few players wanting to play in these bonanza events as well. Set of 4s, that hurts. Set of 4s hurting the prior game. Okay. And wasn't really any way to do anything without leaving a blot somewhere, and there it is, double pass, but picks it up. 4s, 5s. Okay, does that, and that takes away the Joker 5, bringing it all the way around. Joker double 5. Nice comeback, Amir. But okay, Anders is trying to figure out how exactly to play that. We can see from the XG analysis at this point it's too good to double. So Yeah, that was kind of interesting. The XG like 9565. So, you know, with a crunched board on the far side, you don't have to be quite as respectful of, you know, getting trapped by a good board or a good bag. Oh, seems like every time this lack of sleep catching up with me, Tara switches over to the commentator cam. Okay, this is going to be tough for, although Hyatt is crunched. It's also a position that's going to be very difficult for Andrews to bring home. Not sure about this. He can do that. I think that's my reaction was to do that. But, and as it ends up, that's XG's preferred. Then you're playing with a single blot, not as much combined ground to traverse. Set of fours will work. Now, what do we do? He can make the 6 point. He could also, and that's doubtlessly the right roll, he could also start moving from people from the 21 point. Now, no double and tag. Yeah, he's just got, he has no cover for that blot over there, and still got the two guys in the two guys back. Now it's getting still not there, but it's getting increasingly close. And that one actually was a thin double, certainly by virtue of the trailing score. Dances again. Now I gotta think he's sending this. Yeah, it's just getting more and more significant. Okay. Boom, he's in. I've got to. Well, now it's obviously not a. Okay. So. It's interesting how to bring this home, but slip back to no double, but it's a thin no redouble. He's trailing 5-2. Huge take, so I suspect Anders is playing a pretty solid match. So I suspect that he wouldn't let it go, and Hyatt knows that. 6-2 will go to the 5 point. So now they're nine pips away from each other. Okay, I'll buy that. We've still got that 12 pip lead. I'm sending this. He doesn't. He should have. I think that's called losing your market. Yeah, so he's got to just cash it now. There it is. Drop.
Gotcha.
Whoa. So, let's see.
Oh. Thank you.
I haven't seen him talk in a while. Is old Eric Peterson still in the house? I was curious, or if anybody else is listening that's at the playing venue. That's the stream's supposed to be being broadcast on some of the projection screens, maybe even the bigger TV we're using as well. But all that was supposedly going to happen, such that the people at the venue could watch the final, because it was in a inaccessible location otherwise. So hopefully that came to pass as planned, and they had that opportunity. And shout out to everybody there at the Hyatt Regency. It's interesting, just looking at the XG summary there, and it's true for both of them. Although, the numbers are a little bit higher for IRAT than Anders, but, Anders or IRAT, well over half of his equity loss is on late doubles, or delayed doubles. And, it's just costing, but by the same token, well, not maybe 40%, 45% of Anders is for the same reason. So they've both been a little shy with the cube. $392 viewers at the moment. Now we got to crack 400. And I hope all of y'all are hitting that like button. Always nice to, enhance the numbers. The Google algorithms and search engine algorithms give some enhancement to those with higher numbers of views and likes and things of that nature, subscriptions. So smash that like button. Hey, the 6-2 lets you make the 4-point, but behind in the race, and owner of a kind of a awkward structure and distribution. Nice roll. Fives you can run, but you can't hide. Might have been considered potential to have made the 5-point rather than play those second pair of fives than the way that he did. Big no double, huge take. So he got some more to do to save those checkers on the 18-point. One. perhaps Anders will, and that's not it. I was going to say perhaps he'll have an opportunity to run one or more of those back checkers while Irad's got a 3-point board. And, Anders' board only being a 4-point board with 3 and 4 open is nothing to write home about either. 4-2. I don't know. I mean, at some point, you just got to figure you got to let some of those guys go. Double 4s. What's he up? Now he's still going to be down 10. So being down 10, he doesn't want to give up that midpoint. He wants to keep the pressure on those checkers on the 18. But we'll see. Okay, he's set of 4s really helped Anders there. 22 pips up. 5-3 lead. Double and pass. I'd perhaps come to that conclusion before I glanced over at the XG thing. This is a huge pass. Not much hope to get a shot to pick up one of those trailing checkers, and you're down 22 pips, so there's no real future in that. So 6-3 Anders Nylander. It's interesting what we started with 14 minutes, so they both used right at 9 minutes. So still plenty of time. They're almost equivalent in time, so nobody's in time trouble of any sort. So Anders about half the PR that Irad has. So he's played a very solid match to date. Almost even luck, so that's it's always nice to see. Matches sometimes can be unduly influenced by disparate dice. 6-4 make the bar point. Yep. Okay, so I think what does he do? 3-6. Look at that. He never seems to fail. Sends the cube. He lets it go. 6-4. It's too good according to that. XG. That's 4-2. 5-4. Oh, he brings them down rather than splitting. Run. 383. Have we ever cracked 400 yet? I'm waiting. 6-5 to run. Okay. Now it's 3, not enough. 13 pips up, but just doesn't double and take because of score, but he just, it's a very thin double. Now, perhaps if he can get away with this jailbreak, which he doesn't, I was going to say perhaps if he got away with that, he might send it. But having been sent back, we'll wait a bit. Ace 6. It's and apparently, and it's not distracting to them to have the cameraman walking all around. I know doing commentary this week, they would oftentimes, stop and take some shots in front of us and here and there, and it doesn't really bother you. It didn't bother me. You don't notice it, but I guess some people might be a little intimidated by the still photographer like that. Okay, what is that? 7 pips with the lead? Probably not, and it's not. Georgia, it's a Swiss format, and they played 9-point rounds throughout the tournament, so they've just carried that forward, I guess, carried it through, whatever. And, typically with a Swiss format, you're going to play a lot more matches, a lot more rounds than you might in some kind of a single elimination, progressive, constellation, whatever. So, through a couple of avenues, they try to speed up the play somewhat. One of it's reduce match lengths. Others, in this instance, is reduce time settings. So keeps things moving on a bit, which I think generally everyone has no problem with. But we'll see. It's interesting. I was having a conversation over dinner a night or so ago with Jürgen Orlowski, I guess, from Germany. And we were talking about reduced time settings and this, that, and the other, and match lengths. Here he is with the 10-pip lead. So this is right on the cusp, probably. Double pass. It's a very thin pass. But certainly within the margin of human error. But he takes it. Here we go. Now this could, the consideration he's got, though, is Anders is 3 away, and he's now playing with a 2 Cuban play. Let's oh, let's see. Now, it was a cusp take, and hasn't panned out. And he's going to find himself down, Crawford 5 away. So this is going to be...
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
He has 3 lives in the Swiss format, so
2, 3, I'm not sure. I think
shorter points, shorter match length points.
Okay. Yeah.
Look at this. Six, 3. So Anders is poised to claim these 2 points. Fatikov has found himself in a hole here now. 6-4. If we and this is going to be a single 2-point game for Anders going to 8-4 Crawford, but and we can look at the PRs and it's kind of interesting. I'd say from my perspective, at least, Anders has not played a spectacular game. Doesn't jump out at you as if it were Mochi or Victor or Zdenek or something like that. But certainly he's played a very, I don't know, let's call it credible or whatever game. 4-2-2 is, kind of a quiet, good game. I'm impressed. I'd never met the guy. I don't even recall having heard his name. But he's played well. And then Irat Fatikov, actually, he was the last player with a single loss before losing at whatever that round that was this morning, round 12, I think. So he had a great run, 10-1, I guess, at one point, and then 1-1, lost one, 1-1, lost one. So he's got a, I'm sure he's disappointed that perhaps he won't win, but second out of 169 players is not bad. It's not that from my perspective. It's not that expensive for U.S. players. The fares and Emirates Airlines has daily nonstops from, I think, 13 U.S. cities, and relatively reasonable fares. So, and the hotel venue had some pretty reasonable rates, which included breakfast, and so it's not bad. Really, not bad from my perspective. I think the thing that for some of the, say, Americans and others who might have, had to fly long distances to come to the tournament, a 4-day tournament perhaps doesn't allow one to amortize those travel expenses over a longer time period that one might want to. And one of my suggestions to Patrick toward next year is going to be related to perhaps lengthening the tournament in some regards to provide a more to do, more to see. Maybe it's some of the European tournaments like the Cyprus and even Monte Carlo and others. It's a week or 8 or 9 or 10 days even, and that seems to be again, you can amortize your travel and lodging expenses. Well, your lodging expenses go up, but your travel expenses over a longer period of time. And so that's important, I think. So you asked me that. I think for a single, it was like $150, then maybe 179, 229 for double and triple, something on that order. So it wasn't bad. I saw some people on the chat during the week talking about it being expensive and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, you know, they're talking about the rooms being expensive, and I'm like, man, have you looked at some of the other tournaments lately? I thought these were actually fairly attractive. Now it's you know, seems like it's been a constant in this match, and that Anders is once again very way ahead in the pip count, and this time Irat Fatikov's got a 3-5 game, which perhaps is not the most ideal. Not much timing left on the other side, so you know, he might soon be having to give up one of those anchors. Five, three. So let's see if Anders can navigate bearing in and bearing off without getting a hit here, leaving the shot and or getting hit. Irat's got a 6 prime starting with his 2 point over there. Didn't like to move the checkers quite that fast if he could help it, but okay, it's going to come down to the next roll or two, but we're oh, that hurts. So you may as well leave with one of them. He doesn't want to get crunch any more than he has to. 429 viewers.
Oh, here it is. Yes.
So Anders is very close to claiming this championship. 6-5. Well, now he's next roll's really awkward for him, but he has to leave the shot, and Irat has to hit it. So here we go. This could determine the championship right here. 6-2. That is a shot. So looking for a 5, direct or combo. What is that? 15 numbers? %, chance. That's a miss. What excess baggage fees? $6-3. Well, that's a shot. And you kind of determine which shot it is. Probably my play. Okay. As I've been known to say, where there's a gap, there's hope. But that's the only hope Irat has left. 6-5 now. What? 4-1-5-1-6-1. 4-3. That is ball game. So we have a champion of the 2023 Oasis International Cup here in Dubai. And that champion is Anders Nylander from Denmark. And played 3.73, picked up a fair number of good dice in the last couple of games. The luck factor was right around 0 for most of the match, and ends up with +2, which isn't too disparate. But congratulations to Anders Nylander. Congratulations to Irat Fatikov for making the finals. And wow, this has been fun. There's his wife. She was here and sat by his side pretty much through all the matches. And Tara and I really enjoyed ourselves. Neither of us had ever been to Dubai. And so we wanted to take advantage of the opportunity that Patrick offered us to provide all of the streaming and commentary services for this great tournament. And we were thrilled. It was a lot of fun. And it was as spectacular as we thought it would be. There's Mike Savadny in the house. Didn't know he was here. And then, we look forward to coming back next year, and encourage everyone to put this on your bucket list. This is one you should try to make. And it's a lot of fun. So here we are. The tournament is over. And wow, enjoyed it. Thanks so much to Patrick Jabelli for all of the work he put into this. And for weeks and months, he's been nonstop working at it. And of course, as anybody who's directed tournaments knows, this week he's probably gotten very little sleep. And
Done. So.
Okay, I guess we're not really in a situation where we can talk to the players or anything. The commentary area is rather small room off to the side. So I guess we're going to wrap it up. Thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to Tara for her normal great production.
Well, this was totally crazy to do a remote final. And there's Swobo.
Yeah, Swobo, how are you doing, man?
Not every day you see Swobo. There's Swobo's
How was
head.
the final? Wow, what a nice place to have it.
It wasn't this a neat place to have it?
Very.
There you go.
It was
Very well.
it was pretty well played. This Anders Nylander from Denmark, who's apparently been around a while, but I wasn't familiar with him. He's won the Nordic, he's won the Swedish Open, and he played. What did he end up? A little under 4. So he played a good, solid match.
Very good. Very good.
Very
Especially for
good,
finals.
solid
Sometimes
match.
By the time they get to the finals, they're tired and worn.
Right. So it was great. We had a good time, and it was funny that they played the intermediate final prior, and they ended up having to play 2 matches. So one of them had 1 loss, one to 2 losses, and the 2-loss guy come back and won both. But it was funny, and they were both Iranian, and I was kidding. They were playing warp speed, right? I made the comment about one of them. I said, he's playing like he's afraid he's going to miss his plane. And then I said, well, they seem like they're both on the same plane,
I thought more people would come and watch.
Well,
No,
you
it's
can't.
such a
Very,
space, small
very
space.
difficult to get anybody in.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's a security thing. So
Okay,
Let's
so
wrap it up.
good night, everybody. Thanks so much. We'll see you streaming Thursday in Las Vegas. So thanks a lot. Good night.